uh, uh, uh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first episode of the Spreaker podcast. As we first talked about in the first episode, we were talking about the NFL playoffs and the wild card. Now it's going to transition to the Broncos 2020 vision. And the season review. The Denver Broncos finished 7-9, second in the AFC West. Drew Lock finished 4-1 as the starter after you had Joe Flacco, who has to retire, can't play anymore. And then Brandon Allen, who's just a backup. So the Broncos finished at the end of the season 4-1. Their only loss was to KC, who got the second round pick. So now you got to look at where do we go from here? Well, you're just missing some pieces from on the offensive side of the ball and the defense side of the ball. And I figure if Elway can just nail this, this is a big year for him. If he can nail free agency in the draft, Broncos are back. We've got ourselves a quarterback. Here we go. We're going to fight for the playoffs. So you've got your key free agents: Chris Harris, Derek Wolfe, Shelby Harris, Justin Simmons. You've got the 15th pick in the draft. What you need to go do and dress in the offseason in the draft and free agency and draft is you need an offense tackle, a wide receiver, and a linebacker. The top free agents you should be looking at is number one, Chris Harris. You've got to find a way to bring back Chris Harris Jr. He had a down year this year. No Pro Bowl, he had a down year. But if you bring him back, I bet you have to make him retire a Bronco. You do that, then boom, there's solves one of your quarterback position, because then you have Bryce Callahan on the other side of the position who didn't play all this year because he was hurt. So if you bring him back, yeah. But if you go Chris Harris and then you bring another guy in like Talib, like you did for the Super Bowl run, you had Talib, you had Chris Harris, and you had Bradley Roby. But if you want to draft a guy, or you could maybe sign a guy. Maybe if you could sign Jimmy Smith to shorten your deal, maybe 2 years, go for it. Or if you want to bring in Logan Ryan, go for it. Then the next thing was the wide receiver position. If you go get guys in draft, or if you guys like free agents, maybe if you could go hit out and bring AJ Green, now that's a target for Drew Lock along with Courtney Sutton. I mean, that would be a nice big duel. If not, why don't we go get a Murray Keeper? Cooper. So if you bring him in, I mean, he probably won't leave in Dallas. It'd be tough, but if you can try to swing, try to get him. Yeah. Make some big plays. And then, looking at the offside line of the ball, you need to go hopefully you can go get Brian Balaga. Bring him over as your left tackle. Get rid of Garrett Bowles. If not, if you want, or maybe you put Brian Balaga. Yeah, you would have him because you have Jawan James coming back. You paid all this money, and then he got hurt and barely got to play this season, so he needs to get healthy. And then you got to replace Ron Larry. So if you replace him with Mike Body or a draft pick. And then speaking of the draft, let's talk about that. That's one thing I need to stand on is on the draft. That you should be looking at. Number one, I'm going to go from 6 to top one. Top 6 is Antonio Winfrey Jr., who, if you that name sounds familiar because he was a D-back. His dad was a D-back for the Minnesota Vikings. A very good D-back. I mean, if you could try to swing and maybe if you could pick him up and use him as your safety, ooh, yeah, because I think Phil Willis or Will Parks is a free agent, so I mean you want to bring him back, but you never know how that is. Teams could be like, oh yeah, we'll give you more money, he could go start somewhere else. So if you have to replace Will Parks with Antonio Winfield Jr., I'm down for it. Next is my list is two wide receivers, T. Higgins and Laviska Shenault. I know those guys. I would love to see the Broncos pick up Laviska Shenault. I mean, that's another threat again. If you don't pick up the guys I said in the free agency, you go out and you go get those two. You get Laviska Shenault, or you go get a T. Higgins. T. Higgins is 6'4", same height as Cortland Sutton. So, hey, you could have two 6'4" wide receivers. Throw the ball, they go up and get it. You know, Cortland Sutton's going to go up and get it. T. Higgins will go get it. Next on my list is offense tackle. So if you don't sign any offense tackle, you go out and you draft Prince Tiga Awahu, whatever his name, from Auburn. And then you also look at maybe Chris Humphries from online for Oklahoma. And then my big fish is Isaiah Simmons. If the Broncos can trade up, find a way, whatever, to pick Isaiah Simmons, the guy's the last linebacker / safety, that would solve the tight end problems that the Broncos have 4 years have been. So you need to, if you pick him up, he probably could shut down Travis Kelce, Hunter Henry, Mr. Waller from the Vegas Raiders, and whoever tight ends we play coming up next season. And also you're looking at the 2020 vision. The teams we play is the AFC East and the NFC South. So it's going to be so we have to go at New England. Will Tom Brady be the quarterback? Will he retire? Or will he move on? We'll see. We'll see what happens. The Jets are probably right there, so they're going to be a good team. The Dolphins, year two, if they get Tua Tonga or a quarterback, they're going to appear to be in the mix. And then you also got the Bills, I got smacked. They needed to show up for that game. So that's it. And then you got the Tennessee Titans, and you also have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so and then you look at the NFC South with Drew Brees. I don't know if he's going to come back, or if he wins the Super Bowl, does he retire? And then you got the Bucks. Probably will have a new quarterback. Jameis Winston's and the guy. And then you look at the Carolina Panthers. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I don't know if they draft quarterback, or are they going to stick with Cam Newton if they let him go, or you have Kyle Allen or Will Greer. You just don't know. And then you got the Atlanta Falcons, who just had a down year, but they should be right back in the playoffs. So that's my kind of like, and that's the schedule there. And you also got the division. So, I mean, if the Broncos, I'm going to read you this last note. At the end of the 2 minutes of the show, I'm going to let you guys hear this song called The 2020 Vision by Mad Fanatic. And it's just a 2-minute song, so I thought I would close it out. Close out my podcasting episode 1 with that song. Take a listen. It's very promising. As promising luck has been, expectations has going to be with a full, healthy roster and asset. The Broncos dispo their offseason upward of $85 million in cap when cuts go through. And then you've got 5 top 10 draft choices. This team will have a shot to make some noise in 2020. In order to do that, the Broncos need to get healthy. They need their big money free agents to show up in 20 and they show up. The 20 this year for free agent class to just show up in 2020, and they need to nail the draft and free agency in 2020. And to do that, I think if Elway hits it, this is really pressure on Elway. This goes back on for Elway. It really pressures him. So if he hits it, the Broncos are right back in the playoffs, and then all those haters can be like, "Oh, Broncos suck. Whoa, wow, they don't suck anymore. The Broncos don't suck anymore. They're right here. They're right back in it." Yeah, we are. So that really ends. So that we're and the Broncos talk here. I didn't get to spend on too much of like the coaches firing, so let's get a rundown on Black Monday and who got fired. Okay, from Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. The Redskins are making it official, and they will bring former Panthers Ron Rivera as their head coach, which I think that's a very good spot for him to land. Along with, he'll help progress and help build up Dwayne Haskins, and I think the Redskins are going to compete. There's a team right there that get pieces here, boom, boom, boom. They'll be fighting right there for the top spot in the division with the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys. So also getting fired. We don't know about what's going to happen with Jason Garrett. So we'll figure out. So he's going to meet, and we'll see what happens with Jason Garrett. Andy Reid announced that his safety's out with the torn himself. But Pat Shurmur got fired. Freddie Kitchens got fired. So then you're looking at all these coaches and where they're going to go. Coaching candidates. Well, you got Josh McDaniels. So we'll figure out where all these coaches go. I'll keep you updated on where people go and people land. So, yeah, I mean, this is first episode 1. It gets better from here. Next, we'll be talking about the getting playoffs, NFL, Nuggets, and then we'll talk about the Avalanche and the Nuggets in the next episode, and then a little bit WWE, what's going on. So it's going to launch and take off. I'm really excited for this podcast to get going. And yeah, going back to Jason Garrett, there's a thing that said the Cowboys are likely to move on from him. Yeah, just doesn't do it. So, but anyways, this will end this episode 1. Let me play for you guys 2020 Vision. Signing off.
2020 Vision. Whole different vibe. 2020 Vision. I got business for the squad in 2020. Do they thing? 2020 Vision. I got business for the squad in 2020. Okay. Get a ring. 2020 Vision. I got business for the squad in 2020. Denver Broncos future looking bright. 2020 Vision. I got business for the squad in 2020. And look, I don't see no movement in our sights. Franchise QB, top tier T. Big dogs that wide receiver and Phillip Lindsay is a beast. Juwan James coming back, Hallahan coming back, Brad Chubb coming back too, so we probably get more subs. Last drive's been hit. This year we got Matthew, and we looking like a size 8 fitted me. We got Matt Cashman. 2020, and my Broncos about to finish. Chiefs, think it's sweet. Y'all think it's sweet. Man, I promise Pam, I don't want no beat. You don't know problems. And you run that street. One more game, we repeat, I got his teeth. 2020 vision for the Broncos going ham, man, I swear they look scary. Yeah. 2020 vision for the Broncos going ham, dog, I can see it clearly. 2020 vision, I got business for the squad in 2020. Let's go. Do they thing? 2020 vision, I got business for the squad in 2020. You see it clearly, get a ring. 2020 vision, I got business for the squad in 2020. Okay. Denver Broncos future looking bright. 2020 vision, I got business for the squad in 2020. And look, I don't see no movement in our sights. None. I'm talking like no losses at all, man. I'm talking like 72 Dolphins type shit. I'm talking like undefeated. I'm talking like 19-0. Let's go.
Let's go.
July. Y'all know what it is. We out here, man.
Yeah, I was mad for that with this song. Signing off, and once again, congratulations to Philip Lindsay getting 1,000 yards back-to-back season. The first